Well, hey there. This is Dr. Chris Grimbalist with Always and Forever Ministries, taking just another few minutes to put up something that might help you in making the most of your marriage. We're excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here all the time. I'm excited to be a child of the Lord. I'm excited to be married to my wonderful wife, Michelle, whom I think is the most awesome lady on earth. And here's the thing, husbands, you ought to think your wife is the most awesome lady on earth. And wives, you ought to think that your husband is the most awesome man on earth. And more than that, you ought to tell him so. More than that, husband, you ought to tell her so. Why? Because kind words count. Years ago, we had an elderly couple that attended our church. They were a joy to watch when they came in. It seemed as if they had to lean in on one another to walk through the auditorium and get down to their chairs. On top of that, they were a joy to listen to as they talked. We'd have conversations, and it was just always a pleasurable conversation. And when he talked about her and when she talked about him, they had nothing but encouraging words one for another. Now, I want you to understand, this was still true for them after 64 years of marriage. Somewhere in that time, this wonderful couple found the secret of kind words. Everybody likes to hear kind words. Everybody likes to hear words of encouragement. Everybody likes those words of affirmation. This means, and this is particularly true for husbands, this means, ladies, that your husband wants to hear from you words of encouragement. Okay, this means, men, that your wife wants to hear from you words of affirmation. Now, this shouldn't be hard. But somehow it's hard to remember to offer up these words. Yet Scripture declares to us the importance of kind words. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 24 says, "Pleasant words are as in honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones." The Bible actually is clear here. Okay? Pleasant words are sweet to the soul. This means that pleasant words which you offer to your spouse are sweet to your mate's soul. The same verse that says that pleasant words are health to the bones. So your kind words, your sweet words, your encouraging words, your affirming words are words that will help you to keep your spouse both mentally and physically healthy. Certainly, this means that encouraging and sweet and affirming words are good for both the husband and the wife. Now, that being said, consider that the contrary must also be true. Unkind words cause harm to the soul and the health. So how do you talk to your mate? It's important for us to focus on and offer up to one another kind and encouraging words. Let me offer up another thought on the need for kind words. When the two of you got married, you had plenty of nice things to say about one another. Okay? You have plenty of nice things that you wanted to say to one another. She would say, "Oh, you're so handsome and so rugged." And he'd say, "Why, honey, y'all so beautiful. You couldn't miss those baby blue eyes a mile away." Yeah, just kind and encouraging things to one another. Okay. Now, is it the same way today? Is the same thing true in your marriage today? Do you still say, "Oh, you're so handsome and you're so rugged, and honey, I love your baby blue eyes"? Do you still do that? In reality, no matter how long you've been married, those same kind words, those same qualities which brought forth those kind words, When you first got married, those same characteristics, those same qualities are probably still true. So if there are kind words to be offered to your spouse, those kind words ought to come from you, not from someone else who sees the qualities in your spouse that you've become so familiar with that you overlook them and you don't say those kind and encouraging words. Well, someone else just might. And isn't it better for your marriage if you're the one offering up the encouragement and the kindness to your spouse? Let me go on to add this. Would you rather fuss or would you rather kiss? Okay. The words you use can determine which you do. Words that are not kind, words that are critical, lead to fussing. Words that are encouraging and words that are affirming can lead to kissing. Which would you rather offer up? And that being said, knowing that we're two imperfect sinners trying to manage a one flesh situation, we don't know. There are times when fusses happen. So, how do you respond when unkind or hurtful words are hurled in your direction? Scripture says in Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1, a soft answer, that is to say, kind words, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. It can be the difference between fussing and kissing. Fussing, kissing. Yeah, it can just make the difference. Now, when you add it all up, you end up with an important total here regarding the words you use with your spouse. Kind words, encouraging words, affirming words can have an amazing positive effect on your marriage. So, yes, you ought to communicate. You ought to take time to speak to one another. But when you do, use kind words. Listen, I hope this has been an encouragement and a help to you. My wife and I, we want your marriage to succeed. We want it to be blessed of God. So let's take time to make the most of our marriage by using kind words one toward another. Now go out there and have a great marriage on purpose. Thank you for watching this Always and Forever, making the most of your marriage moment. Have a great marriage on purpose.